is Herbert A. Brown Jr., Focus Winner. Today's message is, God helps us to be resilient. Psalm 37:24. Though they stumble, they will never fall, for the Lord holds them by the hand. Proverbs 24:16. The godly may trip 7 times, but they will get up again. But one disaster is enough to overthrow the wicked. James 4:6. And he gives grace generously. As the scriptures say, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Galatians 6:9. So let's not get tired of doing what is good. We will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Isaiah 41:10. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. Again, today's message is, God helps us to be resilient. Now, we're going through challenging times. We're going through a pandemic. We're going through political unrest. We're going through hurricanes. We're going through fires. So it's enough to make us say, what's going on? I don't know if I can take this anymore. Stop it. Stop it. But what you need to know, and this is something that we all need to know, is that God gives us grace. Grace is undeserved favor. As we grow spiritually stronger, we realize this. Day to day, God gives us grace that strengthens us. The greatest example of grace is with Joseph in the Bible. His brothers were jealous of him. They sold him to traders, who then sold him to Potiphar. Potiphar's wife desired Joseph and falsely accused him of trying to rape her. So Potiphar had Joseph thrown in jail. But even in jail, Joseph rose up to the ranks of helping everything get organized in jail. And soon he interpreted the dreams of Pharaoh, and he was second in command in Egypt. Despite all these things, being sold by his brothers to traders, being thrown into jail, Joseph kept thriving. In the midst of this, because of the grace of God was with him. God throws grace at us even when we don't realize it. Now, I have an example. When I was 17 years old, I was supposed to give a sermon on Youth Day at my church. A sermon or a message, as it's called now. But I had a terrible pulled stomach muscle. It hurt just for me to even talk. I was in tremendous pain. So I told my earthly dad, I can't do it. They're going to have to find a replacement. And my earthly dad, a Jamaican, he says, you listen to me, boy. Unless you're dead, you give that sermon. So I did. I gave that sermon, and these people still talk about that sermon to this very day. But God gave me the grace, strengthened me, so I could give that sermon. Even though I had a pulled stomach muscle, I gave it. And people still talk about it. Another example I have was in 2004. My appendix burst while I was working in Lansing, Michigan by myself. The bank executive, I was a bank examiner, he says, you need to go to the hospital, Mr. Brown. So I took a cab to the hospital, Sparrow Hospital, and they had to operate immediately. But just before the operation, I felt such a peace that I never felt. It was ungodly peace. It was godly peace. Something I never felt on this earth before. It was such a supernatural peace. That's God's grace. God was helping me be calm before the operation. That same week, I had that operation on Tuesday morning. That Saturday, I ended up going to a concert. God helped me to be resilient. God will help you to be resilient through a pandemic, through political unrest, through the death of someone in your family, through financial problems. God will help you be resilient so that you can thrive. No matter what you face, God is bigger. And God will help you to be resilient.